time to vacuum balance the carburetors. Got this one running and riding, but just barely. I haven't done it much other than get it running and riding. So, and to do that, to get it running and riding, I actually bought a parts bike that had no title, and stripped a bunch of parts off of it, used the front forks and fender off of that one, wheel and tire and brake are off of mine. Had to rebuild front and rear brakes. Replaced one front caliper, and then rebuilt it and replaced the front master. Went through the carbs, cleaned them out. They had been rebuilt recently, it looks like, but you know, they had some gunk from an old rusty fuel tank in there. So cleaned all that out. Okay, I've got it all hooked up. I forgot to say that, yes, I have done a valve adjustment. So you always want to do your valve adjustment before you do your balancing, because it will throw your balancing off. Supposedly, I've never tried doing it without, but let's see. Got hooked up to all 4 vacuum ports. Number 3, number 4, number 2, number 1. I know it's a weird way to do it, but I wanted 3 and 4 close to each other because you balance 2 to 4 and 1 to 3, and then you equalize the 2 banks of carbs through 3 and 4. So by having those right next to each other helps me do it. I hope I got that in frame. Got out my tripod, but realized I don't know where the adapter for my phone is, so it's going to be a little weird. I don't know if I'll be able to shoot it while I'm actually doing it. Let's see what happens if I start it up. Your idle will go up and down, so you have to adjust your idle to keep it where it should be. They're not perfect, but they're really, really close. Way better than they were. Running smoother. Keep it there. Okay, so the carbs are all balanced. And I'm sorry I couldn't show you that, but I cannot find the adapter for that tripod, and all I have for a camera is my phone at the moment. So, anyway, what I wanted to talk about right now is this handy dandy tool. I bought this a long time ago when I got the Nighthawk here. I wanted to be able, I was going to balance the carbs, and this was sold as the hot tool for balancing carbs. It doesn't work at all on the Goldwing because you can't get the tool in. You would have to put the tool through the frame to get to where the balancing screw is on that one. So it's just been sitting in my toolbox, and I considered it a waste of money. But with the Goldwing, this is great. It works so good. Here's the part number. It's Motion Pro. I believe that's who I bought it from. I think that's what the MP is there. That's the part number. What it is you have 2 pieces. Screwdriver slides in through this long tube, which is the socket for the lock nut, screwdriver for adjusting the screw. So all you have to do, you don't have to take any of the covers off, you don't have to move anything out of the way, you just slip this down over the nut. I'm not going to actually do it here, besides I'm one-handed, which is really difficult. Like that. You undo the lock nut, then you can adjust, and then you can tighten the lock nut up while still holding the screw. You can tighten the lock nut up when you have two hands. There's no need to fiddle around pulling, figuring out how to get a wrench in there, pulling the chrome covers off, whatever. Getting an end wrench down in there, getting your screwdriver down in there, doing it that way. It's real easy, right from the top, sitting on the bike, looking at the gauges. You don't have to sit on the bike, you can stand beside it too. I did this side standing on it, I did this side sitting on it just to see if I could. And it works great. So when I first got this on the road, I was really worried. The clutch is weak and it was slipping under heavy, hard shifting. It wouldn't shift under or slip under just load in any gear, but third gear up, if you were running hard, it was slipping pretty good. It wouldn't grab until you backed off the throttle. However, obviously the clutch is weak. It wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't. Now it is at the end of its adjustment. There's really nothing left. So, it's going to need to be replaced fairly soon. But it has other issues with this engine too, in that all the cylinders except number 2 have really good compression. Number 2 is down, and it's below spec, and it's quite a bit off of the others. I believe it was 125. So, if I remember right, where the others are all like 150, 155. So, it has some issues, but I have the engine from the parts bike I bought. So, the plan is to go through, ride that one for now, go through this one, replace the seals, clean it up, fresh oil, timing belts, all that good stuff. Because this one has good compression all the way around. It's even, it's good. So I'm happy with this one as far as that goes. I have already a set of timing belts to put on it. Sitting in a box over there from Amazon next to my other engine. This one, I was going to go ahead and do the timing belts, but I discovered the other problems, and on top of that, I was like, well, should I? And I decided, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the timing belts. Pulled the covers off, and it's already got replacement timing belts on it. It's at 67,000 miles. This is the original engine. It's got brand new looking aftermarket timing belts. So I know they're not the original Honda ones. They look brand freaking new, and at 67,000 miles, I'm guessing that the previous owner, right after he bought it, had them changed out. He had the carburetors gone through. I have not rebuilt forks yet. These forks were off of the parts bike. I just swapped them out as is. I did rebuild this front master cylinder. I replaced the front master cylinder. I rebuilt this front caliper. The other front caliper worked fine. I haven't messed with it yet. I do have some more rebuild kits, but I haven't messed with them yet. I just wanted to, I had to get this thing out of the shop so I had room to work. I hadn't been able to do anything in that shop with this big beast sitting in there. And then after I got the parts bike with the parts bike sitting in there, but I stripped the parts bike of everything, literally everything, and junked the frame, no title, and in Oregon that's just a pain in the butt and not even worth my time. I wanted the parts, not the bike. I specifically looked for a no title bike going for cheap. So, and out of that I got a spare engine, a spare set of carbs, spare fairing with headlight and all that good stuff. I've got a spare set of wheels and tires, a bunch of extra chrome bits. There's my original front end and the shocks off the parts bike. I got a radiator and fan sitting back here. So, oh yeah, front fender. That's the front fender off of the bike I have. I used the parts bike fender because it hadn't been repainted. It still had the pinstriping and all that. That's the exhaust off the parts bike. It's been chopped. The ends have been cut off. But it was a really good deal. Oh yeah, the seat. Forgot. Perfect seat off the parts bike. Mine was all faded and rotted and had been recovered, and the recover was splitting. That's the one that came with the bike. My bike. But that's where we stand on the Goldwing, and I think that's it for today. There's not much else I'm going to do on that. Took it out for a test ride, and it's running really good, riding really good at the moment, so I'm going to leave it be and get back to work on my project Pee-wee. So, that's it.